सब्सक्राइब कीजिए रोशन दुरांदे चैनल को। लेटेस्ट रिसर्च पेपर, बुक्स, पब्लिकेशन और फार्मा अपडेट के वीडियो को सबसे पहले देखने के लिए बेल आइकन। तो कैसे हो आप लोग? आई होप कि सब घर पे सेफ होंगे। अभी हम देख रहे हैं वेबिनार सीरीज जो 15 मई से 17 मई तक हुई है, जिसे ऑर्गेनाइज किया है दादा साहेब बालपांडे कॉलेज ऑफ फार्मेसी, बेसा, नागपुर, महाराष्ट्र, इंडिया। इसके एमिनेंट स्पीकर है डॉक्टर सुधाकर गरड फ्रॉम यूएसए, डॉक्टर प्रशांत खरकर फ्रॉम मुंबई, डॉक्टर पीयूष यनकर फ्रॉम मुंबई, डॉक्टर राहुल मनमोड़े फ्रॉम यूएसए। इसके पैट्रोन हैं श्री मनोज बी बालपांडे सर, कन्वेयर है डॉक्टर उज्ज्वला महाजन मैडम और नितिन डुमोरी सर, एडवाइज़र है डॉक्टर ताजनी सर, चीफ कोऑर्डिनेटर है विनोद ठाकरे सर, कोऑर्डिनेटर है डॉक्टर नीलेश महाजन सर, कोर्स कोऑर्डिनेटर है डॉक्टर गनगनी सर। तो आज हम देख रहे हैं कोविड चेंजेस एंड चैलेंजेस एंड लाइफ बाय डॉक्टर पीयूष यनकर, चीफ साइंटिफिक ऑफिसर इनरटेक लैब मुंबई। ये है डॉक्टर पीयूष यनकर, चीफ साइंटिफिक ऑफिसर एट इनरटेक लैब मुंबई। इनके बारे में इंट्रोडक्शन है, ये देख लेते हैं। ये देखिए, इनका ये अबाउट सेक्शन है, ये इनके एक्सपीरियंस है। ये देखिए, ये इनके एजुकेशन के बारे में डिटेल है। ये स्किल एंड एंडर्समेंट है। अभी हम कुछ मेरे वीडियो देखेंगे जो मैंने बनाए हुए हैं। ये देखिए, ये इंट्रोडक्शन का वीडियो है। ये कुछ रिसर्च पेपर के ऊपर मैंने वीडियो बनाई है। ये देखिए, कुछ फार्मा जॉब के रिलेटेड बनाई है, कुछ कोर्स और लर्निंग के ऊपर भी बनाई है, कुछ कोविड के ऊपर भी बनाई है। ये 4 की सीरीज बनाई है। तो दोस्तों, अगर आपने अब तक मेरे चैनल को सब्सक्राइब नहीं किया है तो ज़रूर सब्सक्राइब करना। ये देख सकते हैं आप, मैं इतने सारे वीडियो आपके लिए बनाता हूँ, तो आपके सपोर्ट के लिए आपको सब्सक्राइब करना ही पड़ेगा। अगर आपको कोई भी एक तो भी वीडियो आपका काम का है तो प्लीज़ सब्सक्राइब कीजिए और सपोर्ट कीजिए आपका, और ये बेल आइकन को प्लीज़ दबाएं ताकि आपको नोटिफिकेशन मिलता रहे। चलिए देखते हैं, वीडियो को पूरा देखें।
Still, we need to take a note of it. We need to register it deep into our mind that fever, cough, shortness of the breath, sore throat, and headache. Someone is having either of the symptom or the feeling. It could be COVID-19 or it could be a routine normal flu also, right? So the special characteristics of the COVID-19 or the virus are it's having the size of 0.12 micron. It attacks the respiratory system first, ARDS, what you call. Then it's a airborne disease. It's highly infective. Unfortunately, it remains alive on surface. There were speculations before one and a half month back, 2 month back, that let the infection come to India and there will be summer and nothing will be there. So the same summer, this COVID is able to survive, and the coldest temperature of the Europe and other places, it is survived, it is alive there. So it remains alive on the surface. There are many studies which shows the presence on the surface from few days to few hours to couple of weeks, metal surface, plastic surface, water and all. So for the best surface is the rubber, having the minimal alloy proximity of the virus on that. Then it can infect the irrespective of the socio-economic status. That is the beauty of this disease. Otherwise, before this, the world was divided into the lifestyle diseases and the normal people diseases, I should say. There used to be the demarcation right from the beginning era, that the rich people used to have the particular diseases and the local people used to have the different diseases. So it does not show any demarcation. No demarcation of the economic status, I should say. It's a prolonged illness up to 15 days. It's more fatal, unfortunately, in elderly, diabetic, hypertensive and immune compromised and lung disease patient. So anywhere wherever the immunity is being compromised due to some or other illness, this disease is this virus is more fatal for them. Now virus is there. We have seen the history of this virus and similar kind of things. So how to prevent it? Again, same thing. Every household, every housing society, everywhere it is being told, explained. But let us review it fastly. Wash your hand at least for 20 seconds. Use the hand sanitizer with 60% of the alcohol. If soap isn't available, USP, USFDA as well as our own DCGI has given the guidance to temporary guidance and the approval how to prepare the sanitizer at a household or the small companies or at institutional levels. I could see many of the institutes in Maharashtra have prepared and distributed. Then avoid touching your face unless you are recently washed your hand. Stay clear of the people sneezing and coughing standing 6 feet away, because the area it covers after a normal sneeze and coughing, it's the 2 meter and 6 feet away, it doesn't touch to the surface of the body. Avoid crowded areas, markets, transport, social gatherings and all. Then something more important is restrict the clinics and the hospital visits. Elective surgeries has already been banned or not encouraged by any of the hospitals, big hospitals in India. Even we can control our normal visits, I believe. And 1.5 months has shown, or this 2 months has shown that there is no other disease in India, believe me. Clinics are closed. The normal practitioners are not there to attend the patient. So what does it indicate? All the crowd we used to have at the clinics and the hospitals, was that the false? Or was that not needed? So it is not like that, but definitely the severity of the COVID is so high that our body or mind is, I think, accepting that let us suppress the small illness so that the body should not go to the clinics so frequently. The virtual communication, video conferencing is one of the best way of prevention. We can see everywhere it is happening, be the industry, be the institute level. My kids, my son is in the second standard and he is too busy on his tab and Zoom and then Microsoft app for his studies. So it's a good change. Within 2 months, we have accepted this. We already started practicing it. So this is the best part, and we should give clap to our all nationals of India for taking such preventions. Then standard droplet precaution, gloves, gown, surgical mask. I am not wear the mask because I am right now sitting at my home, not having any of the 5 symptoms. So let us use this, whether the hand sanitizer or the mask or anything which is expensive or which is not so easily available. If it is so, then let us have the judicious use of all the resources what we have right now. Now, what are the causes of the spread? There are a number of causes. Again, we are being bombarded with the information, but I could see slightly different interpretation of that. Again, I am just asking, I am audible and I am visible, right? Maybe someone can raise the thumb. Vinod Thakre is visible me. Am I audible, visible? So I assume that I am audible now. So this, for me, the cause of this spread is inadequate understanding, inadequate acceptance, not acceptable or not absorb or not imbibed training and the practicing. And you can see wherever the cause, wherever there is a spread, be it in a community, be it with the healthcare worker, be it with our armed forces, be it the police or any particular section, if we see, and if it is the spread is there, is it the reason, our understanding, acceptance, training, or the practicing? Is it the negligence? Believe me, it happens. It is something relatively too much of the information. entire day we are being discussed, we are being forced, we are being exposed with the information, and somewhere the numbness comes in the psyche of the person, and we start neglecting. We start saying nothing will happen to me. I have the age, I have the body, I have the immunity and all. These are all invisible things we talk, we take it granted. So is it our negligence that is causing it? That is something very important for each of the professional to think, each of the person to think. Then testing or no testing, there is a big debate. You test the sample and you declare those many are infected, or you don't test and then limited figure will come out and all. Is it the social signal? This is something I just wanted to touch upon this topic. People are not reaching to the hospitals in time. And the reason could be the social stigma. Oh, I have the headache or the fever, but I'm not going to hospital. What if I get positive result for the corona test? What will happen to me or my family? Where I'll be placed in which hospital or which quarantine area and all? What my relatives will say? What my society people will say? Is it holding us to opening up from the symptoms, or are we creating, or are we responsible for the spread? Then the medical infrastructure, again, the place where we are going for the quarantine or to visit for the clinical advice or anything, or the equipment what we are using or reusing, is it causing or is it responsible for the spread? This could be again the topic of discussion, the separate discussion, but for the good understanding, not to pinpoint any section or any agency. So what we have around us. So I could able to spell out couple of the giant killers, I should say, as per the UNICEF and the WHO in the respective time, that these are the diseases. You take it chronologically, anything like, let us start with malaria. Malaria is having evidences from the 2700 BC, before the Christ. It's described in the old scripts of the China. On 20th August 1897 in Secunderabad, uh, has made the landmark discovery. So I think there is a message of mute. Am I audible? Forget about I am audible and you people are able to see me.
Sir, you are audible.
Okay, perfect. Thanks. So malaria is there for thousands of the year with us. Polio, 1789, British physician Michael Underwood has provided the first clinical description of the disease. Tuberculosis, on March 24, 1882, Dr. Robert Koch announced the discovery of Mycobacterium tuberculosis. HIV, identified and formalized somewhere in between 1981 to 83. Reason of selecting these diseases is that these are the terminologies of my generation, your generation. We have heard it, we have seen it, some or other person in our society or somewhere got infected, or we are well versed with these symptoms. So these diseases, whenever it got invented, or whenever it has killed the masses, every time it has been thought, or it was declared that this is going to kill everyone. But we are still surviving on this earth, and so these diseases, so these infections, so eventually we have armed ourselves to fight back these infections. So they are very much there around me, you, and everywhere in Nagpur, Mumbai, India, across the globe. So out of these four, there is going to be the fifth one, that is COVID-19, right? Unless and until we start thinking in that way, we start taking it positively, I think we will be in again that mental strain of having some new addition in the disease family. So let us take it positively. Let us take the precautions. Let us follow the guidelines. And maybe after a couple of years back, somebody will be talking on some new disease with fifth one, COVID-19, as the disease of the past, right? So this COVID has given fantastic ideas, terminology. So for me, I have divided this COVID into the three eras. BC means before COVID. So couple of 2-3 months back, our routine days, our transportation, educational institutes, you all people were enjoying the classes, teaching and all. We used to go to malls. Everybody used to go to hotels, restaurants, hospitals, clinics, and everything. And the DC is during Corona right now. What we are living today in the society, in the cities, in the metro cities, accepting the changes, trying to cope up with the changes, and trying to find out how to survive of this situation, because it has not only affected the clinical segment, but it has hampered our overall economic well-beingness of the human life, I should say. And the AC is after Corona. So AC phase, it may be after 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, I don't know. And I don't believe that anybody will give the assured answer that after 9 months, 8 days, and 72 hours, things will be different. No. But then what this churning motion or the journey of these months or these days of these hours will make us more wise and more cautious, so that we will be standing there for the better tomorrow to fight this disease. It is as simple as that. If we believe, if we take precaution, otherwise it is complicated. So to be on the good part, I think we have discussed a lot on the negative part, that this, that. So vaccine progress is something we should know. All of us, we should know that how good it is. When this pandemic will get the solid answer from the pharma world. So there are 9 companies right now in the race. First is the Moderna Therapeutics, USA. They have completed the phase 2 clinical trials. Phase 1 on 45 healthy volunteers completed, and they got excellent result of their vaccine, and US FDA has given them no to go ahead for rest of the period. Second is the Novavax INC. It is moving ahead to conduct the human trials on 130 volunteers nearly. They are also in a good shape as far as their first phase is concerned. Then Innovio Pharmaceutical, it's a company. They have worked on the DNA-based vaccine. Phase 1 completed on 40 healthy volunteers. So the reason of enlisting these companies is slightly, wherever information is available, I'll try to speak about the technology they are working, because it's not a tablet or capsule dosage form we are talking. It is the technology to have the locking mechanism against the complex structure of the virus, which the lock will typically, disable the life of the virus, the survival proximity of the virus on the surfaces within the body, and that's how it will get killed, and the person will, or the human body will remain unaffected of the infection. The fourth company is the collaboration between Pfizer and BioNTech, Germany. So their modus operandi is to work on the 4 RNA vaccine candidates, and they are working rightly on the messenger RNA, what we call mRNA. I believe all of you have studied in our degree days. And the trials has begun in Germany successfully so far, what they are claiming. And then one of the giant company in the world is Johnson and Johnson. It is working on the adenovirus-based vaccine. So this is this vaccine. I happen to come across their preliminary work they have issued, and they are working on sort of, you can see, the platform technology. And the reason of using terminology platform is that so far it must be published somewhere, but there are around 10 strains of this virus. It is not a single strain or the single form of the virus. So if there are 10 strains, then is it possible that my one vaccine will take care of all 10 infection? or it could be effective against the 2 or 3, or it could be 7. So this platform technology, this permutation and combination will give answer, but for that we have to wait till the end of 2020. And they have claimed that the manufacturing capacity of 1 billion doses by end of the 2021. So let us hope so we will get, or this human kind will get the dosing by late 2021 or 2022 if everything goes well. Then CanSino Biologic Science is again US based company. They are working on the adenovirus type 5 vector using a non-replicating viral vector platform. It could be complicated. It's a very big sentence for me to understand. But then, yes, this is one of the technology, one of the platform, one of the base where they have concentrated their efforts to fight against the virus. Then Sinovac Biotech in the Beijing, China. So they have commenced the phase 1 trials and first dosing is already completed. So far, there are no adverse comments replied by them. Then the animal trials were very positive for them. Then University of Oxford, we are all aware of this particular invention. It is being partnered with AstraZeneca, and if goes by the published report, then it may get manufactured, or it will get manufactured at Pune in our Serum Institute facility. So they are all ready with the positive results so that the manufacturing can start somewhere. They are expecting batches to be out in October or November for the final trials. So here the scientists have used the weakened strains of the common cold virus, again learning from the existing viruses or the technology. And the ninth one is the Sanofi France. It has partnered with their one of the business rivals, GSK. So see the beauty of this pandemic. It has brought real business rivals to come together and collaborate on such work which will give the product, which will give the vaccine, which may eradicate this pandemic from the earth in couple of years, just like polio, just like tuberculosis, or other diseases. So let us hope so. Let us pray it should work. So they have partnered with GSK. Clinical trial will begin in second half of the 2020. So these are the 9 companies from the abroad. Fortunately, unfortunately, from the US and Europe based or the China based companies. But yes, there is something for India from India also. The clinical trials will begin of its Bacilli calmette guerin, what we call the BCG vaccine. It is one of the known vaccine. It is widely being used against the tuberculosis vaccination in India. So they are going to use this vaccine on the 6,000 high-risk individuals, whether it really boosts up the immunity to fight against this particular strain of the virus. It will be done to understand the safety and efficacy in boosting immunity. BCG vaccine is used against the TB to boost the immunity of the individual. So 9 companies and the 10th Indian efforts. Let us hope that the all pharma community, or the microbiologists, or the physicians who are working across the globe to work on this invention should yield the product, should yield the vaccine, which will save our life. Right? So here, the reason of putting the globe in front of you is that, my dear friends, we are not alone. We are not the alone sufferer of this virus, this pandemic. Entire globe is facing the difficulty. See the mortality in US, Europe, Italy, Spain, UK, India, all our other neighboring countries, China. So everywhere it has played the directly role of killing the human beings. And we are not alone. You are not alone. Whole world is connected with this common thread. So keep the hope, right? Remain cheered up in your day-to-day life. Everybody is working. Something will come out of it. Have faith. So touching upon my topic is corona effects and the changes in the life. First of all, we need to understand, we need to accept that it has the short-term impact. It is not going to remain same. You are not going to sit in your house for next months and years together. No, it is short-term impact. There is a sudden vacuum in life. I do accept. It was never before. It is very difficult for the age group of the 50 or 60 plus people, 55, 60 plus people, because in their whole life they roam freely around their cities, their fields, their farms, and everywhere. Now they are being forced to sit inside. So there is a vacuum in life. There are acute financial crises. It is everywhere. It is with the small entrepreneur, it is with the big entrepreneur, small vendors, suppliers, small shop owners, even the employees of the state government, central government, or the private sector like us, like you. There is an acute financial crisis which is impacting us directly or indirectly. There is a risk of self, family, friends, and the co-worker. Whenever I start every day morning, we are working for more than a month. Our R&D lab is working. So whenever I start from my home, I always see myself in the risk. I always consider that I'm putting my family in the risk, my friends, my co-worker, and vice versa. It is a feeling with the same. It is the same feeling with all of us. So be it, we have to live with it. As I told, that is going to be around us. So I can't keep on chanting the risk factor. I should be working on my strength to fight back by following the guidelines, by following the routine hygiene. There is a changing attitude of the society. You must have seen around you. Let the person be infected, and attitude of looking towards their house, their that patient or their family is altogether different, be it our relative or our neighbor. So there is a need of sudden change of working pattern. Everything has changed. Believe me, everything has changed. Me meeting the people, conducting the meetings, your institute taking the regular classes, these are exam days and all. But it is different now, right? So we have to accept this change and act accordingly. Need to change the infrastructure, temporary and the permanent. Temporarily, all of have installed Zoom in their laptop PC. The kids are working on their tabs. Parents are sharing their laptop or computer with their kids to attend the classes. So there is a additional expenditure for me. But then this infrastructure, it could be temporary or it could be permanent. Say tomorrow onward, there could be some 5 courses UGC or AICT or Indian government will run, which may not require attending the classes, which may not require to go to school. Just like the outside universities, we do open universities, and just like that concept. So it could be a permanent change in the infrastructure, additional expenditure to accept the changes in the system. We never used to purchase sanitizer, mask so frequently, but now it will be a part of my life. I'll be keeping the sanitizer in my bag and in my pockets every day. So it's an additional expenditure. Stress of coping up for new technology like webinars. So I'm going through that stress from yesterday evening. And there were so many frantic calls between Mr. Thackeray and Nilesh called me in the morning, and then I was talking with Mr. More and then all. So it's a stress I'm going through. You people are going through, but we have to accept it, right? It's a part and parcel of our life. So definitely normal classroom teaching and everything is going to change. So post-pandemic changes. Let us focus what is going to happen tomorrow. Enough, everybody knows what is happening around me. So COVID-19 pandemic has stretched the healthcare infra of even most developed nation. Let me put it in word. It is crumbled, right? Reason being, nobody was prepared for this, that it will be so massive. Just like the minor heart attack, first heart attack, smaller pain, 3 days administration or the hospitalization, and the massive heart attack, the patient gone. So it's like a massive attack on us, on our system, on the international healthcare system. All resources of the country directed towards new battle zone. All resources are directed. For last 3 to 4 days, our finance ministry is giving understanding of those directives, that how their normal resources are 20 lakh crore or whatever is the amount, how they are going to channelize that amount or those resources to fight back the collapse system, and it happened due to the corona. So there could be compromise on the normal budgets what we have expected or declared a year back, or the new budget is going to be altogether different, right? So it will cause economic crisis for all sectors, setting a vicious cycle. So vicious cycle is something, it is like pharma company. Just imagine there is a manufacturing unit, there is a second segment is the marketing and the head office or the finance department. So manufacturing unit has not received the raw material and it is having the inadequate manpower. So it is not able to manufacture say 10 crore tablets in a month, overall different product. Marketing is waiting for supply from the manufacturing and they're shouting, there is no supply, give me tablet, give me tablet. In return, what happened? That sales or marketing force not able to sold those many products in the market. There is no revenue collection. Here, the third segment, finance or the accounts are shouting, there is no money. Give us the money to run the things. Manufacturing is asking, give us the money to purchase the material. So these three segments in different sector, there could be 5 elements or 10 elements, but they are into the vicious circle. Unless and until we break that circle, unless until the system itself breaks the circle, it will remain there as it is moving, and it is most dangerous for the economic growth of the any particular sector, be it pharma, be it automobile, be it IT industry or anything, right? So it is a vicious circle, but believe me, entire world, all the economists, all the big people are working on same to break it. India, the response to the COVID-19 pandemic, this is something we should, again, we keep on reading this, we keep on listening this, we keep on discussing this, because this is what something about India, about us. So one of the most stringent in the world wise, early lockdown, travel advisories, screening, quarantine of the travel, home visits and the phone calls. That's what we have seen from our government. The strategy of the government has been prevention better than cure. Maybe out of the limitation of our healthcare infrastructure, community awareness towards the hygiene, it will give the positive impact in long-term thoughts, in short-term likely to increase the burden significantly. Since start of the full-blown pandemic, intensive campaigns are being run towards the hand hygiene and to prevent the transmission of the infection. So it is India, the response, it is your response, my response, our community's response against this pandemic. Face mask, hygiene, social habits, non-spitting in the public. We all know, right? No need to talk about it, spitting in the public. Cough hygiene and disinfections. Unless and until we all respond positively for this, none of the government, none of the administrative department will able to come over this situation. No secrets that healthcare infrastructure is subpar or inadequate to meet the needs of the large population. Come on, we have to accept. We are 138 crore people in the geography of India. It's not possible with present infrastructure to take care of each one of us. Almost 80% of the patients are treated by private practitioners and very few of them are insured. Nowadays, it's good that there are insurance schemes. People are themselves are going ahead. Government has taken the initiative, but still see the percentage and the beneficiaries. India ranks 145th among 195 countries globally in terms of the accessibility and quality of healthcare service. There are known 195 countries which are signatory or the members of the board or who are recognized by the World Forum as the countries, and we stand 145th. Definitely not a glorious thing, but then that's what is about. That's what the challenge is. That's where the resources and the energy of the youth, energy of the scientists should be tapped by the government, by the body who are running this entire country. So India's total GDP is $1.6 trillion and US expenditure on healthcare alone is $2.6 trillion. That is 70% of GDP. Now, please don't write in a comment box that look at the death toll of US. Guys, that is altogether a different thing. That is the species, that is the strain effect on particular geography of the people. It could be altogether different. The reason could be the prevention measures and all, that is different thing. But look at the expenditure. See, many of you must be aware, and if not aware, then you should know that alone budget of the BMC, Brown Mumbai Municipal Corporation, is more than the budget of maybe couple of countries which are there in 195 number, right? Forget about Maharashtra, forget about rest of the India. So we are rich country, we are not poor country, right? But then prioritization, allocation, the delegation, that makes a lot of changes, differences, I should say. Then internalization of the pharma supply in India, focus for the medical equipment. It's a good sector. We should focus. India is the largest supplier of the generic drugs across the globe. 20% of the market share, with 50% of the manufacturing of the vaccines in India. Good thing. 80% of the world's demand of the retroviral drug is being made by India. Very good thing. Again, we are having so many patients of the typical and atypical diseases only in India, right? So we have seen the cases of the PPE, ventilators, diagnostic kits coming from the neighboring country. Why can't we have those kind of things in pipeline, or not pipeline, or in our routine manufacturing sectors? Okay, it may not require, it may not be consumed immediately, but then the know-hows and the minimal capability should be there. Good part that recently we have started manufacturing it indigenously. Several non-medical equipment companies have risen to the occasion and started manufacturing medical equipment. Big companies like Asian Paints. Nobody has thought that Cipla would have manufactured the hand sanitizers and distributed. Johnson and Johnson, so many big companies have started manufacturing. It could be the situational response of those philanthropic companies to the cause. Then the business model is changing. Your requirement, your consumption, the market demand always drives the innovation. It always drives the overall business, I should say. So medical devices infrastructure will remain there after pandemics. So using this equipment and infrastructure to improve our healthcare system is long run will be blessing in disguise. It's a good thing for us. Impact on Indian industry, domestic and global generic market, we are good into. We are into the API. API is made up of the intermediate key starting material KSMs on the solvents. The challenge is that we manufacture the API. We have a very big plant, US FDA approved and European agency approved, Canada and Australia and all. But the intermediates comes from the other countries. We have to import it due to cost effectiveness. Same is the FDF, finished dosage form. There is a API and excipient and packaging material is a component of FDF. API is there, KSM and intermediate is from somewhere else. Excipients, majority of the excipients due to cost effectiveness or the technology or the source of the raw material, it comes from the Europe or neighboring countries. Packaging material, devices and all are so technologically driven that it comes from the Japan. So what we are doing, we are just getting from these places technologically, converting the form, lamping, stamping it, and again sending to the world. So the efforts could be there that can we, this small component, this like the ancillary units of the any automobile plant, small right from your screw to big nut bolt and all, they generally prefer to manufacture around the company. So just like that, considering if we could able to manufacture everything here, we will be having most cost effective medicines. We will be having assured supply, at least in pandemic situation in India. Today, unfortunately, the supply chain, it got disturbed. There is a disturbed supply of the life-saving medicine in India also. Go and check with your chemist friend. A couple of you must be having medical shop. Just look at your inventory and orders you ask your distributor to give, and they're saying, no, it is not available, right? So there is a competition due to the inherent cost advantage. We have to take advantage. We have to ride on that. So impact on industrial Indian pharma industry, import dependence on the neighboring country nearly 70% by value. Let me tell you, disturb the manufacturing and global supply chain. Disruption in API supply result in shortage of the essential drugs and FDF in India. Right now we are going through. Best example is rise in the cost of the paracetamol tablet. Who knows your metformin, so widely used tablet? Because I know one of the intermediate is atypically supplied by China only. What if that supply, which is already stopped, and what that intermediate it gets exhausted in the manufacturing unit? How the metformin will be available for the people? Because diabetes has entered in our nerves like anything. So like antibiotics, cardiovascular diseases, diabetes, and the tuberculosis, all these drugs, supply chain management, it got hampered, it got disturbed due to this supply and our dependency on the imports. There is an excellent capability of formulation development and the best manufacturing infrastructure in India. Believe me, that is the reason everybody is purchasing from us. But for support for the input material, if we get our own manufacturing capability well built up, then nothing will stop us. Expenditure on the research and development of the new anti-infective molecule should be increased by the company, should be encouraged by the government, should be encouraged by the universities. They should grant, they should sanction the amount for the university institute level of the research, industry level of the research, to do the genuine research. I repeat, genuine research. We don't need to discuss about it, but that genuineness, unless and until we put the efforts in our student, in our budding pharmacist, in our budding researcher, such pandemics will always break our systems. Research on the new indications and the dose titration of the existing drug. No need to go and everybody to go and find out the new molecule. It's not feasible. It needs decades of the research and all whatnot. But then you can work on the new indications. You can work on the dose titration of the existing doses. Process optimization to manufacture the cost-effective medicine. We can very well bring down the API synthesis steps, the manufacturing or the excipient cost and all, so that the supply and the cost will be good. There is a scope for the innovation. 505(b)(2) alternate route of administration. People are working. Indian companies, R&Ds are working. We are also working on a couple of things. But then there is a scope for this invention, alternative medicines. Nowadays, WhatsApp University is teaching so much of the knowledge to everybody. So let us give chance to the Ayurveda, let us give chance to the homeopathy and other alternative medicines. End of the day, you and me want good health. That's what we are all working and we are being paid and we are spending for, right? Well-being of ourselves and our family and the society. So there is a customer trend will be more on hygiene and self-care product. So there is a scope for the small scale industry to work on this. Cost-effective synthesis and the manufacturing of API, intermediate and KSM is opportunity I could see for the Indian pharma industry. Government norms and the regulations to promote the small scale industries to manufacture the cost-effective intermediate, KSM, impurities, and solvent. As I told, it will automatically bring down the cost at whatever the expenses are there, whatever the money it will get circulated among ourselves, our Indian economy, right? Partnership of the government and the private sector to promote the manufacturing and export of the excipient packaging material, healthcare equipment, machineries, devices. Why not? Once we are self-sufficient, we can always think of exporting. We are exporting so many things, let me tell you. So it could be additional earning in terms of the dollars and pounds and euro for Indian government. So it's 12 o'clock for me. My watch is giving the alarm that my 45 minutes are over, right? So last but not the least, prepare yourself for the next level. That's what is the takeaway for me and my suggestion to all of you, right? So I think I am done with my delivery. Forum is open.
Okay. Thank you, Piyush sir. This is Nilesh. I'm audible to you, sir?
Yeah, Nilesh, I can hear you.
Yes, sir. This is a very informative talk. And what I like is the simplicity by which you have presented your slide. The slides are very self-explanatory.
Oh, I just forgot to mention, thanks to my wife, yesterday night, late night, she took efforts on my, I should call her. So, she has done all
So
this
we
beautification.
must thank as she helped you a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, sir. In the chat box, a few questions are there. Let we go through those. The first one, somebody has asked, one of the audience, what will be the regulatory complications for the drug repurposing?
I think yesterday there was a session by Professor Kharkar, right, about the drug repurposing. So if your clinical and the other studies, they found that the existing drugs, which are, as I also mentioned in one of the slide, that if you start using that, or we take efforts to find the purpose, another purpose than the original invented purpose for the molecule,
Yes.
and if it is acceptable to DCJ, acceptable to US FDA and the respective regulatory territory, forget about other things, talk about India, like BCG vaccine, which is being invented for and used for the tuberculosis. So repurposing that for COVID purpose. If it goes well, it will be branded for the COVID also, right? So naturally, the government and the regulatory agency will bring the positive changes in their guidelines also to accommodate that. Definitely, they have to. See, it's like everybody is working on jointly. They can't go in a solace and form some guidance which are not acceptable and not workable to industry. Same way, the industry can't do anything they want. So there is a well coordination. Don't worry about it. Let us get the positive results, and there will be wonders, believe me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Obviously, sir. One of the listener is asking, is there any possibility for a mucosal vaccine from the nasal route?
Yeah, exactly. In among the 9 companies, what I told, one of the company is giving stress on the administration through mucosa, because nasal mucosa is one of the, I should say, less explored part of the human body, which is having excellent absorption capacity, right?
Okay. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So it all again depend on the comfort and the mucosal zone, which should be 100% compatible to absorb the drops or the droplets of the vaccine and all. So they are working on it.
Okay.
It is
Okay.
there. There is a scope for the research in nasal.
Okay, sir. So next one is a very interesting one. As the literature says, SARS-CoV-2 is highly mutant, and this is the seventh or ninth mutation has been took place now. How effective will be the vaccines? Because it's a mutant virus.
That's what I told in my slide again for this Johnson and Johnson example when I have given. That time I remember I told that so far, means that's what the scientific community says. It may be published, or it might not be published, but I have the information that there are totally identified 10 strengths for this molecule. See, I am putting 3 month, 2 month, 1 month, and 15 days back scenario in front of you. When it started in the month of February, there were so many speculation, and there were the news early March also. Don't worry, age group up to 40, 45 is safe for this disease, for this virus. Only geriatrics and the diabetic and the cardiovascular patients are going to get fatally affected, which is not so true in India. Look at the infection and the mortality in Indian population, which is there right from the 6 month of baby. 27 years gentleman has died of this, 34 years, 37 years, 42 years, right? So there is no correlation. Why it is so? Because the virus entering in my body, from my body to your body and fourth body, is showing slightly different characters, because it is getting mutated itself in the body. That's what the overall literature says, and I could able to understand. My interpretation could be wrong also, but then when they say that there are 10 strains, so the feasibility of having one vaccine or the one medicine to fight back all 10 is going to be different. So there could be
Okay.
3 vaccines. It could be a combination of 3 vaccines to cure the COVID-19 infection. So it's again option for the research for the institutes and the virology.
Okay, sir. Okay. So one of the listener is asking for, can you throw some light on the prophylaxis use of hydroxychloroquine?
Yes, perfectly. Not only hydroxychloroquine, let me talk about the ivermectin also. Ivermectin and the albendazole combination.
Yes.
For ages, we are giving to our kids, it is being prescribed to the pediatrics, and the hydroxychloroquine, which is basically identified to fight the malaria and that sort of infection. So
Yeah.
it is being initially recommended, it is being correlated, I should say, on the paper that it could be helpful to restrict the growth of the microorganism, this virus, not microorganism, the virus. It could show some positive effect on the human body. That's what right now. If you search the literature, all different countries and the research bodies are having different opinion. Later on, it is being linked with the some interest of the particular countries and the business houses also. But if you ask me, as of now, there is no 100% formula being established by any of the company, any of the research institute that yes, you take 400 mg BD and then 400 mg weekly dose and you will be cured. Because it is being given to healthcare. ICMR has issued the guidance. Our healthcare workers, physicians and doctors have taken that. But despite of that, there are some incidences, mishaps.
Yes.
So I don't know whether the deceased have taken the HCQS and still they got fatal, or this is unless and until we all sit, all the departments sit, all the institutes sit, and they extrapolate what happened in the past 3-4 months and talk, then only we'll get something out of it.
Conclusive, yes, sir, something like that. Sir, next one is like PM Modi sir has that day explained and urges countrymen to be Atmanirbhar. And you have explained that most of the intermediates for the API synthesis are being coming from the China like country. Why our industry is not Atmanirbhar?
No, it's
What
not
are the
that
plans?
it's not that we never had the technology. It's not that, because before rise of the neighboring countries or other countries' technical capability, we used to manufacture that. We have the route of synthesis and everything. It is only about the cost.
Okay.
Because end product, if you want metformin tablet at the cost of 3 rupees and 50 paisa, which is lesser than cost of your one cutting of tea. So that 3.5 rupees is inclusive of your 500 or 750 mg of the drug,
Yes.
then excipient, then packaging material, right? The
Yes.
distribution cost and the taxes. So to cover that, you should have the cost of basic metformin so low, so that the CCPC conversion cost of the manufacturing units and all should everybody should able to earn out of that 3 rupees 50 paisa, my dear friend.
Yes, sir.
So you need to have the intermediate KSM key starting material. You need to have the solvent of that cost,
So why
not
there is,
compromising on the quality.
sir? Why there is so much least cost offered by the China like country?
See, there could be the scale of the manufacturing. There could be their research on minimizing the steps of synthesis,
Yeah.
right?
Yes, sir.
So there are 5 steps in one synthesis of the API. If I could able to do it in 3 steps, so
Yeah.
2 steps have been saved by the shop floor. Material, intermediate, KSM, solvent of the 2 steps has been omitted from the cost. The paper cost will be, if the cost is 5 rupees for 5 step, it will be 3 rupees for 3 step.
Yes,
It's
sir.
in general I am proposing. It's not literally like that, but it is the cost effectiveness. Automation is one of the best reason for that. Optimization is one of the reason for that. In my slide, that is the reason I told that the existing product should be, there is a scope for the process optimization to bring down the cost.
Yeah, correct, sir. Yes. Okay, sir. Last very interesting one. One of my academic friend and most of the academicians want to know what will be the effect on placements of the pharma students post-COVID.
At least 4 to 5 slides I have discussed about these opportunities. So don't
Placement
think from your department point of view that how good the placement will be there. Think in that way that everybody in the country should work to raise our horizon, to increase the scope of the work, to increase the scope of the manufacturing and the research. Then and then only the budding student, the budding pharmacists, the people will get opportunity to work in R&D, in the manufacturing, right?
Yes, yes.
It is not going to take away the jobs. It is
Correct.
going to take away the tendencies, the attitude of gathering, sitting together, and working in an unhealthy, unhygienic condition. But the
Okay.
routine will remain same. Before COVID also, we used to eat with our hand and fingers. Today also same thing. Tomorrow also we are going to eat same thing, right? Same
Yes,
way.
yes.
So let us take it in that way. It is not going to uh, take away the jobs. Yes, as I mentioned repeatedly that the economy got impacted, the industries, their overall production, manufacturing cycle, distribution, the purchasing, it's again vicious cycle we are discussing, it got affected.
Yes,
So
sir.
end of the day, the consumption, if it is less, demand is less, it will hamper the manufacturing. But it is not so fortunately with the pharma.
Yes,
Stocks
yes,
of the
sir.
pharma across the globe are going in positive,
Yes, sir.
and
Correct.
they are expecting that all the companies who have underperformed in last 5 years are going to get the good returns. Those who have
Uh,
invested in the stocks are going to get at least 10 to 15% plus than their expectation. So what it is, indicates that there is a growth. There is a growth in pharma. Don't worry.
yes, sir. Yes, yes. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for the informative lecture. That too in a very simplest way. The formal conclusion now from my side. I take this pleasure to thank you very much that you have spared your valuable time to deliver this webinar and make it a wonderful Sunday morning, I must say. From the entire team of Dada Saheb Balpande College of Pharmacy, especially President of Ambedkar Education Society, Mr. Manoj G. Balpande Saheb, Principal of Degree College, Ms. Ujjwala Mahajan Ma'am, and Principal of Diploma College, Mr. Nitin Dumore Sir, and our organizing committee. We are very thankful to you, Piyush Sir, that you have spared a valuable time and delivered a wonderful talk, a very lucid one, very informative and very simple manner. Thank you very much, sir. We hope and look forward to for your assistance in the future also.
Yeah. So I'm thankful to all the participants, and we have to accept. Similarly, I have trimmed my hair at home using a trimmer. Is nothing but accepting this change, accepting
Yes,
the
yes.
challenge, and imbibing in my routine life. So similarly, all we can do so that we will be best in this situation. So thanks
Okay,
to all participants and the listeners. I couldn't see any one of you. I would have loved to give the live lecture. Maybe in the future, someday I'll come to your institute and we can have the better interaction, right?
okay.
So once again, thanks to all of you, all your efforts.
Thank you,
Good day,
sir.
guys.
Thank you, sir. Let me announce the important information or other notice for all the delegates. There is a last session. There will be the schedule on the evening today at 6:30 p.m. of Rahul Manmode from Massachusetts, USA. So hope you all will be there to join him. It will be a fascinating lecture again. So thank you very much, one and all the delegates for sparing their time, that too of Sunday. Thank you. Uh, so, shall I leave for meeting now, sir?
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
sure. Thanks.
Thank you very much from our side, and we will all use the meet now.
Thanks, Piyush sir. Thank you very much.
Yes, thanks.
अगर किसी को कोई हेल्प चाहिए तो मुझसे कांटेक्ट कर सकते हैं। मुझसे कांटेक्ट करने के लिए आपको आई बटन में क्लिक करना होगा, वहाँ पर मेरी इन्फॉर्मेशन आपको मिल जाएगी। कि दोस्तों वीडियो को देखने के लिए, अगर आपको वीडियो अच्छा लगा है तो लाइक कीजिए, अगर आप चैनल में नए हैं तो सब्सक्राइब कीजिए, अगर आपको कुछ कमेंट में कहना है तो कमेंट कीजिए, फीडबैक देना है तो, अगर आपको लगता है वो चैनल हेल्पफुल है तो इसको शेयर कीजिए। जय हिंद, जय भारत।